Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be making a skinning knife. I'm going to be making it out of this old file. I'm going to be basing this knife that I'm making off of this knife here, made by Buck Knives. I've always liked it, but I'd rather make it than spend whatever it is, $100 on it. So let's get into it. So my sister has this Buck knife here. This is a little bit different than the one I had in the picture, but I'm going to be pretty much using the template of this as far as to make the whole knife. So for this, instead of having a metal here, I'm going to be using this orange. It's actually a chalk for lumber. It's old chalk. And I'm going to be using that for these metal pieces here. Then I'm going to be using this piece of walnut. I think this is walnut, dark walnut or something, in the middle for the midsection here. All right, so as you can see, I got the back part of the grip drawn out here. And I'm going to be using this. It's kind of like a mini band saw. I got it for free a little while ago. You're going to see how it works. So it'll be my first time trying it. I ended up getting this cut up. Very rough piece. So I tried a couple different methods of how to cut this. What ended up working best was just a good old-fashioned handsaw. Now I'm going to try to get this piece cut out of this plastic. All right, guys, so I got this piece chopped off. Obviously, this one is even more roughly cut out than this one, but now I'm going to get this down to size, or again, roughly down to size. All right, so here is the very, very rough sketch of the knife. Kind of just getting a look for what it will be like. What I'm going to focus on right now is just slimming this handle, this wooden part of the handle down a little bit. I got the handle shaved down to about the size I want it. Could go a little bit smaller even. So this piece didn't end up working out because I didn't leave enough room. This piece did end up working out pretty good though. This will be the front of the handle. And then the back will be back there. I'm going to cut out a new back piece for it, and that's what I'm doing right now. Alright guys, so it's a few days later, and now that we got the general shape of the handle cut out, I'm going to start working on the general shape of the knife blade. Alright, so here's what I have drawn up, and so let's get to cutting this out. Alright, so now that I got the general shape out of this knife, I'm going to work on this piece a little bit more, or the whole handle in general, but most of this piece. It's a little bit thicker than I want, so I'm going to probably make it, I don't know, just a little bit thinner. Alright, so as you can see, I got this piece filed down quite a bit. Now I'm going to start actually getting edge on this knife. So now I'm going to be drilling a hole in this for the knife tang to go through. Alright, so now I'm using the file, and I'm just like filing to the side, making it long enough so that this can fit in there. Alright, I'm going to go grab the knife and stick it in right here because it doesn't quite fit yet, but I think if I just burn it a little bit, she'll fit perfect, so. Alright, now I'm drilling the hole in this, so the tang can go through this. Alright guys, so all the pieces kind of came together here. So here is the knife. I finished it off with sanding it, which I always forget that I have to heat treat it. And so I'm going to have to redo all that anyways again. But rounded this spot off up here so it's not a sharp edge. Got it to a pretty good point up at the top there. Focus. I left a little bit of this part of the file right here just so you can get a grip with your thumb when you're cutting down on something. Then I got this piece, which I ended up burning the knife through, which worked pretty well. It's a little bit sideways, as you can kind of tell, but I think I can fix that easily enough. So there's that piece. Then we got this all hollowed out through that. So there's also a little crack in this right here, but once I get the epoxy in there, I don't think I'll have to worry about it too much. And then this end piece, which I will probably just end up doing the same thing like I did here, just burning it on. The metal will probably come only about to here, but the epoxy should hold it on pretty well. So heat treat the knife now. Got the knife all ready to go in. I know it's about ready when it's just above like 550. So throw it in there and yeah, probably 10 minutes I'll pull it out. There we go, the blade is real hot that time. That's what we like to see. Well, I actually ended up doing 2 quenches this time because the quench before this, the knife wasn't quite as hot as I would have liked. I never actually measured the temperature, but it just wasn't as red hot as I would have liked. But this quench turned out really good. Knife's all done getting quenched, cooled off, and now it's time to shine this back up. Now I'm going to start putting all of the handle pieces on this. I have to heat it up a little bit more because this piece isn't quite big enough. I didn't realize, but there is a small taper on the handle. It gets bigger as it gets closer to the blade. Just like that. So obviously that's not exactly perfect, but this is definitely a little bit too blocky. I gotta trim this down over here, back here quite a bit, but that's generally what it's gonna look like. I think that's gonna look really nice once I get it all cleaned up. All right guys, I got some JB Weld, and now we're gonna be putting that all together. I'm gonna lay it on there pretty heavy, I guess. Alright, so I ended up putting a clamp on that piece of wood right there because there was a small crack in it. I wanted to compress it as best as I could, so hopefully that crack won't continue, and I really don't think it will. Alright, so I'm going to let this sit for overnight. Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. It should turn out pretty well, I think. I'm going to sand this down a little bit because this is a little bit too bulky. I don't really like how bulky this is, so there's definitely still some work to be done. I'm going to slim the handle down even more, but... Alright guys, back out in the garage. Knife is all dried up, so now it's time to... get all this JB Weld sanded off and get the shape a little bit better. So let's head over to the belt sander. All right, now I'm gonna do a little bit more work with a file on this. So I'm gonna put some boiled linseed oil on the handle, and then a little bit of this wax. Someone in my last video asked me what this wax was. It's just furniture salvage. That's gonna go on the blade. Linseed oil is gonna go on the handle. So I'm gonna do the linseed oil first, probably. See how this works. I haven't used linseed oil ever, so see how this looks. Ooh, that's looking good. I like that. Let that dry. Let it really soak in there. I'll probably put another coat on just to make sure it really soaks in everywhere. All right, so this is dried for a while. Now I'm going to use this buffing wheel on here. Give it a try. So I'm going to let that dry on there, and I'll come back a little later and wipe all the excess off of there. All right, guys, so it's done drying. All the wax dried onto the blade, and I got it in there pretty well, so that should be pretty well protected from the rust. And I think that's going to have to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because later on, I'll be making a video on making a sheath for this knife. That will probably come out in a couple weeks or so, but yeah, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. And thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.